Hello, well, welcome to Lunar Astro. I hope you guys can hear me. Okay, wonderful. So I must have a chat box somewhere here. Let me just go through this. Where is it? Okay, okay. I can see you, all of you. All I need is chat box. So let me go through this. Okay. Happy Diwali to everyone. I hope you guys well and good. Today, what we're going to do is we are going to focus on Saturn, the transit of Saturn. What Saturn actually does, what it is capable of, and how you can actually control Saturn. What are different ways, when I say control, it means, once you start understanding what is actually Saturn is, you will start realizing that how powerful Saturn can actually become in your life. So when we are going to discuss Saturn, what happens over a period of time is in Jyotish, most of the people will say it's good or bad, but it is never good or bad in Jyotish. It is always, there are some positive aspects, there are some negative aspects. You need to know how to deal with it. And as I will discuss the transit, and this is the transit video, which is very different. This is for the hardcore learners of Jyotish. This is for if you want to go into really deep insights of how this transit is going to affect you. I mean, you can give whole 1 hour reading based on this one transit. Just stay with me and I will teach you the deepest part and deepest techniques of Saturn today, or maybe the deepest part of the transit today. You try this in your readings. You see this in your 10 charts, 15 charts, and you will realize I can only use this one technique, give 1 hour only transit reading, and next nothing else. But one thing which I require from audiences, please focus on what I'm teaching rather than I have a Saturn 0 degrees, Saturn 15 degrees. Forget about it. You can, I mean, what you're expecting is answer from me. Even I will give the answer, you will not be there will be no conviction about it. Reason being is it's blind thing for you. So until and unless you learn this particular technique, apply this, till that point of time, it will be not useful for you. Whatever I will say, it will just go over your head. And that's why I always say, learn Jyotish for at least for your own chart. Because then when you will make remedies, then when you do different, do different rituals about your chart, that will be the time period you will be very sure, very clear of that this is what I'm doing, this is the effect I will get in my chart. This is what Saturn is, this is what the power of learning anything is. You can learn anything from me, but until unless you try, you predict, it will not be useful. So the goal of this particular lecture is to make sure you learn, you practice, you give me feedback. How did it actually turn up in your chart? And when people say, it is not happening in my chart, I will show you those cases as well. Why it will not work in your chart and certain charts. So I will start with a very simple technique. Saturn being the karka for pressure, Saturn being the karka for hard work, the last planet. It has only one goal, that it will give you hard work. Saturn is the last planet. Reason is, this is a planet which takes bad things from everyone. It's like it has a quality for everyone. It is the most outer planet, the outer limit. So Saturn decides your capabilities. Saturn decides your limit, how much pressure you can bear. If you can bear the pressure, you can become anything in this life. I mean, what is that one thing which you will not achieve if you start doing hard work? There's nothing like it, right? But it is only that we do not want to work that much hard. We only want the fruits for it. Like, you want to become the manager of the office. You want to become a politician. You want to become someone very good. Wherever you are in field, whatever field you are in. But everything has a price. Are you ready to pay that price to become that particular person? This is one thing which you need to ask yourself. Are you ready for that much hard work? For example, I'll give you a very classical example. When somebody asked me to accept the promotion when I was a sub-engineer to become the supervisor. And I said, no, I don't want to become the supervisor. Reason being is I was not ready. I'm not ready to sacrifice my nights by becoming supervisor. I'm happy in what I'm getting. So this is what Saturn will demand. Anything you will require, there's a price you need to pay. So wherever Saturn is transiting, in whichever house, right now Saturn is in Capricorn. It has turned stationary. In 2 days it will go direct motion and it will start its journey towards the Aquarius. So let me give you a dictum of Bhrigu Sutram. Bhrigu Sutram says, this is the Labh Yoga. What Labh Yoga is? Whenever Saturn aspects the 11th Lord, either in transit, either in natural chart, in your birth chart, either the 11th Lord or the 11th house, or both, the person gains in many folds. And now you can extend this particular principle to any house of the chart. Suppose Sun in 5th house. Sun 5th house is your fame. So whenever Sun will aspect or make connections with the 5th house or the 5th Lord, the person will get fame. And you go ahead now and check in people who have achieved fame in their life. You will see these people have connection of 5th Lord and Sun prominently in their chart. And whenever they will run the dasha of either 5th Lord or in the dasha of 5th Lord or the Sun, they will get the fame. So it's a very simple principle, but you can apply. This is Labh Yoga. So what I have done today is in office, and this is how I create a value system. So I taught them certain principles. I'll teach you one more principle again. One more principle, let me give it to you. You go ahead and test it. If there are malefics in Gemini and Scorpio, these two signs in chart, the person will not have a good married life. Now, when you think about it, Gemini and Scorpio have nothing to do with marriage in traditional Jyotish. But this is Bhrigu Sutram. The Gemini and Scorpio, if it contains benefics, the person will have an excellent married life. If one of them has malefics, then person will have marriage problems initially. Later on, it will get better. Now, Gemini and Scorpio has nothing to do with the marriage, but it actually works. So we tested in several charts. So what I do is, every day I go office, I give them one page of this particular book. And I say, you need to give me examples of whatever we are learning. Like, let me give you one other Raj Yoga. And this is the Raj Yoga called as the Raja Rani Yoga. So, what is the Raja Rani Yoga is, which was the king and queen yoga is, whenever Saturn is square Venus, the person will gain lot of wealth in his life. Saturn square Venus. But there is more to this. Because when see, this is coming from Rishi. Anything is coming from Rishi, it will be only a one-liner. Now, if I post it right now on Facebook or YouTube, half of will say not working. I'm not even posting you to approve. Who told you you have to approve something is working or not working? I'm telling you that this is the sutra. This is the one-line dictum. Means in the whole pattern of universe, this is one small thread, one small hint. You want to take it, work on it, it's up to you. You do not want to work on it, you want to reject it, up to you. But I am not asking for your opinions here. I'm asking for this is the dictum. So Raja Rani Yoga, Venus square Saturn, once you work on this particular principle, and I promise to every one of you whoever is watching, whoever will give me 10 examples of working and not working and why it is not working, I will give you another dictum. Because I'm that strict with the office employees as well. Even if you're working in my office, I will not teach you until and unless you deserve it. If you don't deserve something, you will not get it. This is how the knowledge should be given out. So Raja Rani Yoga, you go ahead, practice it. Come back, I will teach you something else. I will give you another dictum. So in total, there are 480 dictums like this. So there I've given you two prominent dictums today. Gemini Scorpio, Raja Rani Yoga. And the Labh Yoga. 3 dictums I've given. Come back with the homework, 30 charts. Tell me where it works, where it does not work, what is a dasha, what is antardasha. And I will teach you the first code of Bhrigu Sutram, which means what is the first code of Bhrigu Sutram is. Where to send? So note down this email ID. lunarwork108@gmail.com. Make title or subject line as YouTube class. Saturn square means 4th house to Saturn or 10th house to Saturn. There is a Venus. So once you come back with this, I might teach you. Out of 6 people, I taught only 2 people in office the first code of Bhrigu Sutram. How to actually see chart without any dasha, without anything else, and you can time it. I was timing up to the day. I taught them how this is how you time up to the day. But again, anyone, I'm saying anyone. If you're watching me on YouTube right now, you are a student. You are learning from this channel. I will be happy to teach you. Within a week, please send it. Because what I've realized is, it is difficult to get students who really want to learn for Jyotish. People are learning for their own benefits, whatever might be the reason. They're mostly learning for solving their own charts, but not realizing until and unless you know the complete code, you just can't focus on one part. Like somebody is asking, Saturn retrograde Scorpio sign 6th house. We know you will get disease at one point of time after 42 to 48 as Harish. But which disease, how you will get it, how you will manifest it, it's a case. Like Saturn 6th house Scorpio at the age of 38, major changes in profession will happen. So all these things are derived from this one simple principle only. Now, once we are start looking into transit. So wherever the Saturn is going, what it is doing, it is creating pressure. It is creating pressure on that house, on that particular house lord. So let's suppose I will start with this first house, Saturn first house. So let's suppose you are Aquarius ascendant, Saturn will come to your Lagna. Whenever Saturn comes into Lagna, it will give you new job. If it is a benefic in your chart, let's suppose Saturn is a good house lord. Saturn owns trines, Saturn owns Kendra. If it's a yoga karak in your chart, like for Aquarius ascendant, it is the ascendant lord. So it is ascendant lord coming back to ascendant. It will give you new job. One, secondly, it will also create pressure on you to improve your health, to constantly look around for new resources. But if it is malefic house, let's suppose Saturn owns 6th house in your chart. Saturn owns 8th house in your chart. Saturn is a malefic for your chart, for Leo, Cancer. Then when it will transit from Lagna, it will give you health issues. It will give maternal family health issues. It will create breaks in your service. It will create breaks in your profession. And you will be humiliated constantly. Also, whenever Saturn transits in Lagna, that person has a nature to fight with everyone, because Saturn in Lagna, mostly it creates a negative thought process. Like if you are a Capricorn ascendant and Saturn was transiting Lagna, your fighting spirit was very high. Why? Because it is going through its own house. It's a natural house of Mars, Saturn and Lagna. It's like forming a Mars-Saturn combination. And this particular person will keep on fighting with everyone, because he will think that everyone is against him in the world. The moment you see the Capricorn ascendants, now you are about to get relieved from this fighting spirit which has possessed you. Because now Saturn is about to move to Aquarius. I mean, this is useless. If you are asking questions, anyone, it's useless. I'm not even looking at it. I'm not even interested in your chart. What I'm interested in, students who are here to learn. You want to learn here, please watch this video. Otherwise, it's no need. Because the moment you will understand that what I'm teaching is, you will be able to solve many more things with it rather than whatever you're saying. So what you're asking is, you're asking me to stop what I'm teaching and whether I can read your chart in between or not. So your expectation, you decide what is the expectation you have with me while doing live. So whenever Saturn is transiting first house, let's suppose, what will be the impact on 7th house, 3rd house and 10th house? So wherever Saturn puts its third aspect, which is a sign of working, work hard. If there is a planet in 1st house, 3rd house, 7th house and 10th house, they will also feel the pressure. Because Saturn has, look at in your own scenario. What does the old person does? What does your boss does? They always put pressure on you. They only keep looking at you. They keep humiliating you, because that's their power, to humiliate you. And whenever the humiliation will happen, you will go ahead and start working. I was looking at the chart of a PM of UK, Winston Churchill. Look at Saturn 5th house, exalted Libra. He was the only one who believed UK can win the world war, and then he gave the greatest speech of his all times in Britain, that we can win. That is the stubbornness of Saturn. When the whole world will go against you, you will still stand up and say, I can still do this. I will not back down. Saturn in Lagna makes person that stubborn. You keep on telling that person, please listen, please do this, please do this. he will not listen to anyone superior than him. He will say, I'm the superior one. Saturn and Lagna. See, this is the beauty of Saturn. Wherever the Saturn is in your chart. Oh, wait a minute, I have to kick out Pratap. Because I said, please remove. Yeah. So you guys have to help me out. Huh? Whenever somebody posts a personal question, you need to tell him this is not the class for personal question. So wherever the Saturn is in your chart right now, like suppose you are born with a Saturn planetary placement of Saturn, third house, fourth house, fifth house, you will not listen to that particular person, any other person in that area of their life. Saturn third house. If somebody tells you to change your phone, professional emails, signatures, the way you communicate, marketing, no, 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 no. Because you are there, you have already learned everything. You believe you have learned everything over there, not able to change easily. When Saturn will go to second house, so Saturn will go in second house for Capricorn ascendants. So this now you will get very stingy with money. Now you know what to say, how to say, and Saturn second house. Please take care the kind of food you're about to eat, because second house is your food. Second house is family. Second house is people who are in need. So family will require money from you because now they have great expectations from you. Saturn second house, please take care of the family. When I say family, family you grew up with, like siblings. So what I will discuss is, because this is going to be a very long video, or I will do it in 2 or 3 parts maybe. Right now I'm discussing Saturn in different houses. Then I will discuss Saturn over planets. Then I will discuss Saturn over different house lots. So you need to understand there are 3 different houses. So let's suppose when I'm saying Saturn second house will cause scarcity of money, please do not believe me. Reason being is, you should ask as a students of Jyotish, you should ask how, why it will cause scarcity of money if I have lot of money today. Saturn is transiting my Lagna, I am fighting, but why? Because a good astrologer will not only tell you that you are fighting or you're struggling in business, he will also tell you why you're fighting. Because that is what the second part of the prediction will be. If that is not happening, if you're not predicting the second part, like anybody can tell you Saturn 8th house, your business will transform. Anyone. But nobody will tell you why it will transform, how it will transform. So always ask for the second part of the answer. Now understand this. When I say you're fighting, look where your natal Saturn is in your chart. Saturn second house, let's suppose your natal Saturn is sitting in 7th house. Your Capricorn ascendant, Saturn goes to Aquarius in second house, and your natal Saturn is 7th house. Now you have to say you will have scarcity of money due to partners, or you will open a new business within the family, and that is why you will get stingy with money. Be careful. This is not the time to open business, because Saturn creates bad memories. Saturn is not the planet. When it transits second house, you start doing business with the family members. Let's suppose second house transit Saturn happening, and your natal Saturn is in 8th house. It is aspecting the 8th house Saturn. At that point of time, just you have to excuse me for 1 second. Huh? Okay, thank you. I'm back. So, let's suppose it's Saturn second house and the natal Saturn is in eighth house. Now, what will happen? You will have scarcity of money. Why? Because you are going to waste your money in things which you have not imagined till now. Because eighth house is about longevity. Eighth house is about in-laws. Eighth house is about wastage of money for giving out money for different people. So this is why your money will get wasted. Let's suppose eighth house is a sign, because when you have a Aquarius in the second house, you have Leo in the eighth house. So you will have problems with government during this particular transit. So you always have to look what is the sign where your natal Saturn is setting and from where it is drawing the energy. So Saturn, what transit Saturn does is transit Saturn goes in different zones of the zodiac and it energizes your natal Saturn. So when it is coming just opposite to your natal Saturn, it means in a position you have a government standing up saying you will have government problems, issue of fame, problems with the kids, and due to this, your money will be spoiled out. So let's suppose it is now transiting third house. Third house Saturn will also create marriage life problems because remember what I just taught in the starting of the class, Gemini, Scorpio. It will also create, whenever Saturn is transiting Gemini, it means you are already looking for either transfer, either you are trying to bring in or learn some new skills in your profession, you are trying to focus on marketing, but Saturn third house gives bad names, bad marketing. Until unless it is a very good placement for Saturn, like Saturn is getting exalted. So when Saturn is in third house, what you can say is during this particular time period, you will have troubles in your profession. You'll feel like everything is stuck, nothing is changing, and this is definitely not a good time period. Saturn third house also create an environment because third house is subconscious base. Now you're getting negatively programmed by a lot of people that you can't do this. You're constantly cursing yourself for missing opportunities, that you're too slow. Whenever Saturn transits third house, everyone tells them, you're too slow, you're missing opportunities, you're not doing this. And bad name follows Saturn third house. But Saturn third house also ensures that you travel to different places. Per I always ask second question again. Why I'm going to get the negative feedback? Then look for your natal Saturn. How your natal Saturn is going to give you results. Saturn fourth house. You have to leave your home because Saturn fourth house, all your belief system. Fourth house is your beliefs, what you actually believe. All your belief system has to go away. All your old tantrums has to go away. Whatever you have learned till now has to be unlearn and relearn new things. Saturn fourth, until unless you leave your comfort zone, you will not become successful in life. Saturn fourth house, you are in wrong channel, Saurabh Joshi. If you do not know anything about astrology, because this is a channel for learning. I mean, I don't know. I also don't know why you are here. So Saturn fourth, belief systems. The person stop. There are so many incidents happens with the person, like, but always believe why. Saturn transit fourth house, and Saturn, your natal Saturn is in 11th house. What will happen? Your income will stop. Suddenly, your confidence will go low because Saturn fourth house will have troubles related to confidence. inferiority complex, non-acceptance in public. Everybody is going to curse you. Saturn fourth house, and you will feel like, why I'm actually doing this work now? If it is such a thankless job, why to actually perform these things? Saturn fourth house. Saturn fifth, like Winston Churchill, extremely stubborn. Like whenever Saturn, you see Saturn in any chart in a 159 fire trine, these are the most stubborn people you will ever met in your life. Because Saturn fifth house, you see, whenever Saturn fifth house dies, people celebrate. I mean, they always get the grand funeral. Until and unless it is an extremely bad malefic association. But Saturn fifth house is, some kind of commotion will happen at your death. Saturn fifth house, if it is not retrograde, is an unwanted child. Or a person might have died before you, or a kid might have died before you. Saturn retro. Saturn fifth house, whenever it will transit, it will give you association, habits, friends, and all those people, bad kind of company around you. But let's suppose Saturn is transiting the fifth house and there is a Venus placed there. So whenever there is a Venus transit, Saturn transits over Venus, what will happen? It will put pressure on you to earn money. Like look for combination for Saturn Venus in any chart. The person will always constantly be in pressure to make money. Especially when it is third aspect of Saturn. Because third aspect of Saturn is like, a very Martian aspect of Saturn. That why you're not making money. These people actually fight for not making money. Saturn, whenever, I don't know, there's some problem with the YouTube, or I'm not aware about so many controls today. So I cannot see how many people are online. I'm unable to see most of the chat box in my streaming software. Something has happened. So anyhow, I mean, today's grade, anything can happen. I mean, today's morning prediction was that you will have troubles with the electronic gadgets. So this is actually happening. I mean, for some reason, WhatsApp was down today for 2 hours. If you are aware, 1.4. Okay, wonderful. There's also a Telegram channel with the name of Lunar Astro. But why I'm not able to see it? I have no idea why I'm not able to see all these things. Saturn sixth house, or Saturn over any other planet. You put a planet like Saturn Jupiter combination. Why it is a good combination? Because Saturn will pressure Jupiter. Why you are not reading today? Saturn fifth house. Why you are not learning today? Saturn fifth house, until unless you learn, I will not let you go. Whichever house Saturn is going to go, like Saturn third house, these people, until unless they spread bad news, or they go out with the neighbors or with the call friends, get some relaxation done, they will not feel comfortable. Saturn fourth house, it is putting pressure on you to leave your comfort zone. So Saturn Jupiter is the greatest combination. Why? Because Jupiter is learning. Look for Saturn Mercury combinations. Accountants, CA, people who keep records. Saturn keeps on pressuring them. Keep it nice, tidy, organize it. Because Mercury is a karka for organizing things. And imagine Saturn with it. So Saturn will force Mercury that you need to organize it in a particular way. So Saturn Mercury becomes accountants. Saturn becomes the karma karaka because I mean, we humans are fond of not doing things. It is only Saturn which keeps us in control. Saturn goes with Mars. What is Mars? Mars is a fighting ability, struggling ability, able to produce things, gather people up. So Saturn is always like Saturn and Mars. Let us fight. Saturn and Lagna. Let us fight. Let me make groups. Saturn transits Capricorn Lagna must be there in the 1500 people. So ask yourself, when Saturn was in Lagna, how many groups you actually made? How many groups you actually, you said, the groups can win this. Why you were making groups? What was forcing you to make groups? It was only because Saturn was pressuring the house of Mars. That's why you are making groups. So now when Saturn will go Aquarius, it's creating a natural Labha Yoga in the universe. Saturn in Cancer was creating dry spell for everyone. So in Aquarius, you all can, if your Aquarius is well placed, your Saturn is well placed, you can, whatever your wish is now, will come true. So let's suppose you have a Saturn in Lagna, Cancer ascendants, and Saturn will transit your 8th house. Your profession will change, I guarantee you. That is one prediction number one. But you have to give me 15 seconds. There's a lot of disturbance happening today. 15 seconds. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. Thank you for being cooperative. So Saturn, Cancer ascendants, Lagna, your profession is going to change. But for what reason? Because now you will focus on your health. You will focus on your mental peace. Saturn in Cancer in Lagna will force you that you need to focus on your mental peace in your home, and that is why your profession will change. But it's a natural labh yoga is happening. So what you're actually gaining here? You're gaining your health back. So all those people who have a Saturn anywhere, wherever your Saturn is, now look about what you have trying to gain now when Saturn is going to move to Aquarius. Saturn will transit 6th house. So whenever Saturn will transit 6th house, what it will create, how, which particular pressure it will, what you are feeling right now, where is the pressure? Please find a regular job. Please make new rules. Please make procedures. Please make SOP. All those 6th house details. I'm going to follow religion by the specific details now. Saturn 6th house. I'm going to be more particular in my job. I'm going to buy new shoes in my job. All these things, Saturn 6th house, you're going to do. But for what particular reason? Look where your natal Saturn is going. So your natal Saturn is, let's suppose, in, you pick up the house, 2nd house. So you're doing this. What is the intention of doing all this? So I can get money. So I can get family. So let's suppose you have an Aquarius in 6th house. It means your ascendant will be Virgo. Your natal Saturn is exalted in 2nd house. So all this you are doing for saving your marriage. So Virgo ascendants to save your marriage. Saturn will transit your 6th house. You will become very disciplined person right now. The only reason is because Saturn in 6th house will demand discipline from you. Saturn 7th house, the exalted place. So cancers, you have enjoyed your part of Saturn in 7th house. Now it's the term for Leo ascendants to enjoy. So how you enjoy Saturn 7th house? Put pressure on you to make money, because Libra is a natural sign of money. Libra is a natural sign of business. So cancers, they have already grown now. Now it's a time for Leo ascendants that you will have all the wish fulfillments. You will grow in your profession. You will have a lot of partners falling up. At the same time, look for reason why you're doing it. Let's suppose you have a Saturn plays in 10th house. You're doing this for your profession. Saturn in 9th house, you're doing this for the purpose of principles only. Saturn transiting 8th house, change of profession will happen. There will, because 8th house is longevity. So what happens is, to increase life, Saturn slows down the process. This is survival. Whenever Saturn transits 8th, so let us suppose Saturn transits 8th, everyone will have a different way to survive. Even Saturn is transiting 8th house for every Cancer ascendant, but that does not mean that every 8th house person, every Cancer ascendant will have change of business. Everyone will have different reason depending on their natal Saturn. So 8th house is also illness, but Saturn 8th house is still good. It gives you slow illness. Saturn 8th house, let's suppose it's going for you in 8th house and your natal Saturn is in 3rd house. Now your business will transform because you want to go to some place else. You want to change, you want to learn something new as a hobby. That is why. But this is a best time period for Cancer ascendants to do research. Whenever Saturn transits 8th house, please go back in research mode, otherwise you will face troubles. Slow illness means chronic illness. Saturn, whenever it will transit 9th house. Whenever Saturn will transit 9th house, these particular people will have troubles with the boss, troubles with Guru. They will also have troubles related to money related issues. They will have troubles related to their mother. Take care of your mother. Saturn transiting 9th house, mother will fall sick. Because 9th house Saturn, it's like, now in the house of Saturn there's a Jupiter. So suddenly you will see you are getting wiser. How you are getting wiser? Because you started reading. Saturn will put pressure on Jupiter, and Sagittarius sign is sign of war. And in war sign, when the Saturn goes in, Saturn says, let me give you glimpses of whatever you want to learn now. This is the time for preparing to learn. So Saturn 9th house, wherever it is transiting, you see you have already started buying books because Saturn is in 9th house. And this is for Gemini ascendants. You will start getting books, you will start getting into consultants, you will start looking in who can guide me. And now, right at this particular point of time, you are actually looking for people who are very stubborn guidance, like people who are very, how do you call it? As I said, 159, these are stubborn Saturns, extremely stubborn, but they're very confident. They're confident, like when the whole world will stand against them, they will still like, no, this can't be done. So they're looking for someone who is like this in this particular process, who can help you and deliver you the energy and say, this impossible can be done. Saturn 9th, Saturn 5th, Saturn 1st. So if you have Saturn transiting any of this fire trine, you will look for a person who will say, I can do this. Look for, there was a commander of Hitler, Eisenhower, I think, who said, it was one of the most impossible tasks which had to be done. Everyone laughed in that meeting when he proposed this particular idea, and this was the idea of blood rates. Just to run through the what do you call, the uh, different states and different countries, and then the tanks will start, and then the other soldiers will follow up. He was that confident. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, bad Mercury, but you need to find out that one general which actually they wanted to kill in Paris, and later on they succeeded as well. And this was the guy who was there with the Hitler from the starting era. There's a movie on it as well. If you want to look for Winston Churchill, fifth house Saturn. I mean, he went to meet King George VI, and King George, you're standing in front of King. This is a wartime. Wartime. You can see the bomb. Wartime going on, and King is telling me every week you have to come and meet me. And the Churchill said, I can't come on Monday 4 p.m. because I need to sleep. You see the confidence of a person, that I need to sleep, and that's why I will not come to meet you on Monday afternoon. I will come for lunch. That's it. But he was that one person when everyone hated him, his party members hated him, King hated him, everyone hated him. But they required him as a necessary devil because he was the only one. I mean, that's what the king said. When asked why you made him the prime minister, he is the one who said, because he said, in whole of the Britain, when everyone is talking that we should go for peace talks, he is the one person who is saying, we shall fight. See that this whole cabinet, Britain war cabinet, and then there was Winston Churchill. You cannot have a more stubborn person with Saturn, Mars in trines, or Mars and Saturn signs, Saturn and Mars signs. These are the people who are really stubborn. The real meaning of stubborn will come from these people. So Saturn, if you're transiting ninth house, you're looking for a magic to happen. Please be very careful. You're trying to because that ninth house Saturn is not bad or good. It's what you're expecting it to happen. You're looking for a guru who is standing on one leg with hands up, and who will tell you, I will get this done, don't worry. Saturn 10th house will create scarcity. Saturn 10th house is the top of the mountain. And always remember, when you reach at any top, nothing fails like success. Because this is the 10th house Saturn, which is top of the mountain. This is the highest peak of the chart. This is what the biggest obstacle will be, because this is your karma. You see, there's no right and wrong. When it was Mahabharata, there was in Mahabharata, in Ramayana, in all the battles, now if you've seen in the era, there was no concept of religion in it. There was only dharma. That this is your dharma, you need to do it. It's only right and wrong. The fight was between who is right and who is wrong. And everyone was right from their point of view. And that is why 10th house Saturn, 4th house Saturn, I will say, please, you want to follow religion, up to you. But more than religion, do not focus on the miracle will happen in this house. This is the one house. This is the one house which you can only pass on if you can work hard, if you can learn how to breathe in tough conditions, because now you're climbing Everest. What you're expecting, you're putting pressure on yourself to stay at this particular place. If you want to become number one, you need to behave like number one, right? At this point of time. So Saturn 10th will force you to work hard. Saturn 10th will force you that to achieve greatness, to maintain your position. Either you can fall from here, either you can dig down from here. So let's suppose you have a transit Saturn 10th house and your natal Saturn is in 4th house. So natal Saturn is in 4th house, you do not want to work hard. But the transit Saturn is forcing you that you need to work hard. For what reason? So what you do is you need to predict in this particular case that you will work hard from now onwards, because you need to have a way, you need to have a house in good locality. Why? Because you have a 4th house Saturn in Leo. So that is the reason, either the home piece, either the house, either the property. This is the only reason that you want to become, you want to own a kingdom. Because opposite of Aquarius is Leo. Let us suppose your Saturn would not have been in 4th house, your Saturn would have been in, let's suppose, in 12th house. Now all the hard work which what you're doing is, you will do it because you want to go to abroad land. You want to go and start something new over there because 12th house. Your your natal Saturn is in 12th house. Your natal Saturn is in 12th house, trans Saturn in 10th. So that is how you are going to predict that this is the reason you are going to work hard, and if you push hard enough right now, you will be able to go to the foreign land. So all those Taurus ascendant people, right now what you're planning is, you're planning how I can go abroad, how I can make my mark. If your Saturn is in 12th house, let's suppose your Saturn is in 6th house, natal Saturn, and Taurus is in transit Saturn will be in 10th house. All your hard work will be for which particular reason? Your hard work will be for how I can be disease free, how can be more better in relation. And you will see suddenly the nature of spouse will start changing. Spouse will become more loving. And all this is happening because you want a more cordial marital life. It's a very simple prediction, but I'm telling you, this is only second level. I've not covered third level till yet, because I want you to understand how deeper it can go, only based on transit. Only do your readings for next few days on Saturn transit, Jupiter transit. Use these two principles what I have taught. So let's suppose Gitika Sharma, natal Saturn 7th house. There's a sign of Scorpio over there. So you will have all that hard work done, all that hard work which you will do in next few days will be for so that you can transform your business, you can help your spouse, you can help your partners. All these things will happen. All this hard work, why you're suddenly becoming so aggressive towards the partners, is that we need to change the partners, I need to change the employees, I need to get this done. All that one reason is because your Saturn is in 7th house Scorpio. You have already started thinking about it. The thought process has started to change now. So let's go to Saturn 11th house. Labh Yoga is about to happen for Aries ascendant. Congratulations. But this Labh will happen in which particular term depends where your natal Saturn is sitting. So let's suppose your natal Saturn is sitting in 5th house. You have a Saturn in Aquarius transiting. This is a time period when you will gain new position. Your wish fulfillment related to certain position will come true, which is being stuck. Like all those Aries ascendant I knew, at least, they were waiting like last 1 year. They are waiting that something might this while happen. I should get this position. I should get that position. It is not happening. Wait for Saturn to move to the Aquarius. As Saturn will go direct, soon you will see your wish for that position, for the kid, for the power, for all these things will start coming true. 15 seconds, please. Okay. So let's suppose your Saturn is in second house, Aries ascendant, and now natal Saturn goes in 11th house. Now this is a natural Dhana Yoga for you. What is going to happen is, this is a time period you're going to gain a lot of money. I mean, this is the best transit for Saturn, for Aries people right now. Because wherever your natal Saturn is, that wish is going to come true. Especially when Saturn will make connection with them, either by the plant wise, house wise, Rashi wise. Wish fulfillment will happen. Saturn 11th house, transiting 11th house, natal Saturn 4th house. Whatever property case, property related issues, house issues, problem within the house. Please don't give me money. I'm not going to answer any question. I'm very clear. Tell me how I can return it. I can return it if I can buy your own. Go to channel, remove. I have no idea. Hemant, you have to tell me how I can return this, or ask office tomorrow. Don't worry about 40 rupees. We'll return it. The last one is Saturn 12th. So Saturn 12th is the final say of Saturn. This is the house Saturn says, this is the final house for me. I've completed one particular whole domain, Saturn 12th. Saturn 12th, when it is going to transit, it is going to create troubles with your expenses, because now what is happening is, now you'll spend money on things which you do not want to spend, such as you will give it to doctors, you'll give it to people who do not, police, doctors, lawyers, all these Saturn people. So the best thing what I will say for Saturn 12th is right now to do is, and for whatever reason, look for your natal Saturn. Like your Saturn, you have a transit Saturn coming, Aquarius in your 12th house, for Pisces and I'm telling. So natal Saturn is coming in your 12th house. Sorry, transit Saturn coming to 12th house. You have a natal Saturn in third. Due to your siblings, you will have to spend money in a not very good way. And you will start abusing. Like you will see your language has started changing for people who have Saturn going in 6, 8, and 12. Sir, for Cancer ascendants, for Gemini ascendants, and for Pisces ascendants. All these three people have, you have started abusing recently. The reason is because now Saturn 12th house, what you're actually giving out, what you're leaving. So Saturn is also abuses. So whenever you will start abusing someone, you see you are activating your 12th house Saturn. So it's 12th house Saturn you need to give out. So it's better you give out these things. Let's suppose you have a Saturn in third house. So gift out any old thing to your sibling, or donate some clocks from your house to your housemaid or anyone else. Saturn, wherever it is sitting in your chart, third house, fourth house, fifth house, but 12th house will make sure you spend money on. Like if you have a Saturn fifth house transiting 12th house, you will spend money on education, courses, kids. You need to give out because these are the 6, 8, 12 are the karmic houses. You like it, you don't like it, they're going, you need to give out. Because Saturn is all old things, right? So 12th house Venus is exalted, so that's why Saturn 12th house old clothes. I use the sign now. I use the part of exaltation. So this is the two layers of how and why it will happen. Like your profession will transform, but why? Your kids will have trouble, but why? Where you can see the trouble will happen. This is how you need to go to the second layer of it. So what is the third layer? Third layer is house lords. Because I know I will not be able to do the another session with you guys. So what you can do is please practice this in two. And there is a assignment which I've given in the starting of the video, which is for I've taught 3 different techniques. Whoever will give me the assignment within 1 week, I will teach that particular person. I taught this in 2 of the colleagues, 2 of the students in the office today. When I was taught them the first part of Bhrigu Sutram, and this was the part of how to actually write Bhrigu Sutram. This is the code of Bhrigu Sutram. So I gave them the first code. I said, use this. You will not require anything else in any of the chart readings. So whoever will give me the 3 assignments, please, that particular person we will select, come back, we'll learn about the Bhrigu Sutram. This will tell me how many people are actually ready to learn rather than their own chart. So these are 3 very different dictums. Please go ahead, practice it. And I will come back, we'll meet next week. But do this, the clock donation part. Because 3rd house represents clock, Subrotaji. And Saturn is in 3rd house, transiting 12th house. So 3rd house represents clock, 3rd house represents stationery, 3rd house represents subconscious part, 3rd house represents books as well. Anything which can control your subconsciousness, paintings as well, 3rd house. So this is what you need to clear out from your house. And you will see suddenly, I mean, you can see this in your thought process already. You have already identified that this sofa I do not like, this plant I do not like, this painting I am not liking, so I'm going to replace it. But do not keep it saved for yourself, because Saturn 12th house has habit of storing, not giving out at one right time. So that is why give it out. हाँ 40s please call office tomorrow. The number you can get from website. I will return you 40 rupees. I think you were not aware that we do not do live readings like this. But I will suggest everyone, please learn it. Because what learning will give you is to make you understand how the particular universe is actually working rather than focusing on one particular part. Because let's suppose you have a Saturn transiting 10th house. And I said, this is going to be working this way. What if you have a Ketu there? Because Saturn transit over Ketu will naturally create breaks, dissatisfaction. Saturn transit over Mars, fight, making groups. And you will start making groups in the house. So this is how you need to decipher every small detail according to your chart and make your own remedy. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye bye. How do I end this?